Pro League match day number 13 is upon us. You read it here first, and I said it secondly. But more importantly, 143 kilometers separate us physically from Odense. However, there are some teams that have punched their tickets. Let's just go down the line, starting with the likes of Ghost Gaming over on the North American side, going all the way to the Renegades, who hail from a place known as Australia, a little bitty island. We've got Made in Brazil, who do have that core Brazilian lineup, but also the two from America. And then if we look over on the Astralis side, come from the European division, they have more than solidified their place. And, of course, Not As Sincere as well, punching that ticket. We can't forget about Order from the Oceania region, nor can we forget about my counterpart in Chad Sponge Birchill, who will be joining me now. Chad, welcome to the broadcast. Now, we're going to be jumping into some matches today that probably don't encompass any of these teams, but we do have Fnatic and mousesports. Chad, how good is it going to be?
And that's important because Fnatic and Mouse could decide if mousesports is going to be up on this board as well, and they could be one of those teams on the road to Odense Trace.
They could be, but for now, let's all sit down, get strapped in, and buckle up our seatbelts because it's time to go to Odense, baby.
Little do they know, Roland still resides here, and they come so close to discovering him. Simple. Uh-oh. Roland finds the first man and the second as well.
Chris now on the bomb, should be able to make his way to the site. Smoke to cut off the door. Chris gonna dive on through, but Paz not ready for it. And they get off the bomb, but Chris has won the round. They passed it. They won't expect Exist in this position because they already spotted a man on bench, and Exist is going to mow down 3.
Yes, mousesports lifting a trophy in New York after a hell of a best of 5. And Chad, that was one for the books, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. I think Liquid, once again, dropping the ball in a position where they could have closed on out. Those woes were carrying through with those teams in recent times. But for mousesports, even with that trophy lift, still changed roster, still got Stico back in action. And right now, this evening, as I mentioned just as we kick this one off, mousesports, they have 4 games. If they're able to get all of those, I'm pretty sure they've secured their spot in Odense. They'll be joining those lovely names that we had up there earlier. And we'll get to see the boys like old mate Rops, Oscar, Sunny, doing it all on LAN, their favorite battleground.
Where they might not have started on LAN, it might have been online, sort of in a league just like this. We can begin to take a look at today's schedules as this online league does continue with the likes of FaZe. Not there at all.
No, they're not playing this evening. But we do have Fnatic and Mouse to kick things off. We have X-Space Soldiers taking on Hellraisers there, and mousesports as the bookend going up against Windigo. I do believe that'll be the first time we have Windigo on the main stream, as they'll also be on the secondary stream. And Ago with a lot of games tonight as well.
Yep, slight precipitation coming into the area here as we look onward into the night. It's going to be a little bit rainy for some of these teams, but to kick us off, it's going to be the likes of Fnatic and the mousesports. Now, it's been an interesting concept over there, but in the meantime, I think it's time for us to begin to talk about another iconic weapon. Chad, without saying exactly what it is, what would you say about this weapon?
It's the predominantly used weapon, or one of, on the CT side.
Okay, that's not bad. It's pretty fair, I'd say. Well, in fact, it's time for us to step into the armory where Mads is being mad, and let's see what they've cooked up for us today.
When you want to engage your enemies sneaky beaky like, you're better suited with a rifle that doesn't give away your position. This silenced weapon is a solid choice for those who prefer accuracy and precision over power and ammo. Let's open up the armory, shall we? Utilized by the U.S. Armed Forces in recent years, this fully automatic, American-made rifle favors precision and a stealthy approach to the game. Some would go as far as calling it the bastard brother to the most popular rifle on the counter-terrorist side. And if you like shooting through smokes, this is the go-to rifle. You've probably already guessed what it is. Today's gun is the M4A1S. With $3,100 to buy this beauty, you're pretty invested in the round already. It does 33 damage, has 70% armor penetration like its sibling the M4A4, but it only has 20 bullets in the magazine and 60 in the reserve. The M4A1S is a little more precise though, and less recoil, which is suitable for longer range firefights. But you're better off swapping the M4A1S for its terrorist counterpart, the AK-47. But if you like to engage from a distance, while also hiding your shots from enemy earshot, then the M4A1S is your choice for the battlefield. Despite not being capable of one-shot headshots against armored opponents, they do manage to wreck helmetless opponents with a well-placed tap to the head. And since it's more precise than its AK-47 counterpart, it's better in that perspective as well. But let me just show you the strengths and weaknesses of the M4A1S rifle. Cache is the map where we'll dive into the capabilities of the M4A1S. First off, let's see how the M4A1S does against an unarmored opponent. One shot, one kill. But if you do the same to an armored opponent, well, see for yourself. Looking at the spray pattern of the M4A1S, it's clear that the recoil is a bit tighter than the other rifles in the game, so it's not as hard to control the spray like our CT player does right here. But the true strength of the gun comes in mid to long range combat, and that's because it's very, very precise. The M4A1S isn't capable of a one-shot headshot to helmeted opponents, therefore CT players often shoot a small amount of bullets instead, just like this CT player does right here. It may see less use in combat than its brother, the M4A4, but the M4A1S provides something a little extra for those who want stealthy takedowns and long-range superiority. With the recent increase in reserve ammo from 40 to 60, it's now more viable than ever, no longer limiting its use to conservative shooting from cover. Keep that silencer on for maximum efficiency, and you'll be able to shoot through smokes without giving away your position.
Vodafone presents the pre-match.
The Vodafone pre-match is what's brought us all together here in this Intel esports arena, and I guess now could be the time to start talking about Fnatic and mousesports. But first, I want to ask you to go on social media, mainly Twitter. Actually, only Twitter. I want you to go on Twitter, and I want you to tweet at us using hashtag ESL Pro League.
So what's the hashtag?
Hashtag ESL Pro League.
Okay, and what do we want them to tweet?
I want them to tweet at us, perhaps how you're watching the game right now, perhaps
so
what you're
selfie?
eating. Anything, really. Anything will do that's appropriate.
We're gonna do a selfie, so people can they can learn from
Yeah, let's do
the
it.
best in the business.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna get that on the internet, and if you guys can get yours through, we're gonna bring them up.
Yeah, we're going to bring them up. We're going to show them live in real time. Now, again, don't do anything weird because odds are they'll shut you down for that. I can't really, sanction anything.
We won't be showing anything weird.
Or we will. Can't be any weirder than this mustache, Chad.
That's true.
Let's talk about this because I believe I must ask you a question.
Hey.
When we get into Fnatic and Mouse, Chad, talking about Fnatic, where is this lineup and where's it been?
So here's the thing. This storyline has been prevalent throughout the entirety of the year with a lot of different squads, purely based off of the fact that roster changes are prevalent consistently throughout CSGO. And Fnatic now, they've made some very big ones. They've brought in the likes of Twist, and Broland. Now, the reason this is so big is because Twist has been playing towards the top level of Counter-Strike in the Swedish scene for some time. He's just never actually made a transition to a big name like Fnatic or the Ninjas in Pajamas. Now that he's finally done that, we've actually been in the Pro League seeing him have a huge amount of impact. He's joined the likes of JW and Crims, two legendary players who have won majors, and obviously exist. NIP Fame, who's also won a major, is now in-game leading this squad. So they've got a lot of different bits and pieces. You can even see Scream on your screen, who actually stood in for these boys back at ESL 1 New York. So a lot has changed in a very short period of time. And look, here's the thing. Fnatic can't make it to the playoffs as far as my mathematics is concerned, but they can still be showing us some fun Counter-Strike traits, and they need to avoid relegation. Avoiding
relegation would be a pretty tall order at this point. And by that, I mean, it's probably the most important thing on their minds, right? You don't want to be left out of the next season. You don't have to battle through the MDL, the Mountain Dew League, the one surefire path into the pros.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with this evening, right? We do have the likes of Fnatic, Wendigo on the B stream. We've got Ago playing. We do have these squads who are all on the cusp of that bottom three, and that's what we want to avoid.
Well, perhaps we can take a look and see why it is that Fnatic is in such a turbulent position by looking at some of their past matches going into this point thus far.
Yeah.
And you could see quite a few L's there and one W over the likes of Ninjas of Pajamas.
Yeah, we did see that the other day in that Swedish derby or derby, depending on where you're from, going toe-to-toe. And a 16-5 is quite a big victory there. But in that same evening, they did lose to Hellraisers. And we can't be, I guess, remiss about the fact they lost to Wendigo as well. And that is a team who we'll be getting to see for the first time on this mainstream this evening as our last game of the night. So cool to see what those Bulgarians will be able to do. But Fnatic, yeah, there's been a very steep learning curve, right? You kind of bring this roster together, and they've actually, I think they played their harder opponents in the beginning, and now it's starting to taper into not easier opponents, but at least one's more middle of the pack.
Well, that does tend to help things out but I don't want to use words random like random results, but
Sure.
there's a reason that these results come out the way they do.
Yeah, they're very sporadic, right? And that's because they're still finding their feet. They're still working on their plan. They're seeing, if all the roles want to work, because there's a lot of juggling to do. And I guess it's actually a really cool thing to have the online environment for Fnatic in this regard, because they do get to test things under a little bit more, I guess, pressure than what you would have in officials. Officials, you practice, oh, this works, it doesn't work. But if it's working when you're playing under these realms, with people watching, making sure everyone's trying their absolute best, you normally can work through things a little bit quicker.
Yeah, and I guess for how often these teams play on LAN now, going home is a different dynamic, because it seems like that obviously you play more on LAN than you do online these days.
Well, this is the thing. I think that LAN is the one true leveling field that we have, right? That's where everybody is on even pegging. Everybody has the same environment, all that kind of stuff going down. Whereas online, you do get that more comfort factor. That's probably a good sign, while they're adding in the likes of Brolan, who is young. He is the star of the future star of Sweden, being only 16 years of age. So he's a big one to look forward to, Chase. And then you go on the other side of things, I guess Rops, he's such a youngster as well, and he's another pure CSGO player.
Chad,
Yeah.
I've got some breaking developments.
Breaking tweets?
Breaking tweets from James Ismetal. My goodness, this guy has you loaded up,
Look at me.
and he's playing guitar.
I'm gesturing with my hands. He has a lovely brick. That's exposed brick. I'm going to guess this guy's from Australia.
Australia, mate.
Do you have... So he's probably from, if I had to hazard a guess, he might even be from Perth, because what we do in Perth, mate, is our house is a double brick.
He's from Australia.
Yeah, so we do double. He's probably from Perth, because we built our houses double brick. We have, from about my parents' generation, when they built houses on the inside, it's exposed brick on the inside.
Why is it double brick, though?
So what we do is we go brick, insulation, brick.
Really?
Instead of like stud walls. In
Yeah.
the eastern states, they do the stud walls with the insulation.
Yeah,
I don't know
I'm
why.
aware.
I think it's because it's so hot in Perth, we actually want to let most of the air out.
Huh.
But yeah, for those of you who are legitimately interested about things like plumbing in Australia, I can tell you, I know it all.
Chad knows a thing or two about laying the pipe, is what he's saying.
Yeah, I can dig a couple trenches.
Dig a couple trenches, fill them back up with the pipe inside. But it's time to talk about our next team, Chad. And we're going to be
Mousesports.
doing that of Mousesports. And as we begin to talk about this, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster of a year, right? They found successes.
Yeah.
They've had some roster changes. They've reverted those roster changes. They've spent some money on some players. What else do we know about this team?
Look, I think, to put it all in context, when they did have Stico on the team and they were ramping upwards in the early stages of this year, they were a top 5 contender, right? These guys were a top 5 team in the world. They were showing fantastic prowess on maps like Mirage, which became their kind of home ground. And then after Star Series Season 5, they kind of didn't have the result they wanted. They thought they needed to make a roster change, and that's when they brought in Snacks of Virtus Pro fame, and that was never going to work. Just, you could see that from a million miles away. That was never going to work. Now he's been benched. They brought Stico back. He's walked back in the room, shoulders back. He's walked and he slapped everyone around. He said, this is what happens. And now they're all hugging. They're cuddling at the end of the night. Everyone's happy. Mousesports are back on track to where they should have been. They kind of just delayed their progress by about 3 to 4 months.
Well, maybe it was like they weren't ready to settle down, so they needed to kind of like try new things. But at least within settling down on that same notion, if you think about bringing Snacks to the lineup, a guy that had played with VP for 15 years, right? He's probably set a little in the ways or used to the ways that was running. And then you go to throw him in the new mix. There's got to be some sort of buffer there. There has to be a period of change.
Precisely, and there's 2 different key points here. Snacks would have had a lot done for him by the players within Virtus Pro, a lot of people giving him leeway for him to be the star, the likes of Neo, Taz, etc., making room for him to do whatever he wants. Whereas you come into Mousesports, and that's a team full of stars. You're not going to get your spots. You're going to get whatever's left over, and they want him to plug and play in the roles of Stico, and that didn't work with Snacks' play style. He wasn't given the opportunities to be the star player, and I guess that's why it wasn't reflected on the scoreboard, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird showing because, yes, they do win New York, but then, hey, you got to go.
Yeah, get it. It's like that. We brought it up 1 week, that image where they were lifting the trophy and Chris Jay's leading over to LMBT.
Get him out.
Out of here.
Get him out.
Get him out.
He's got to go. He's got to go. Well, that is certainly the story of Mousesports. And I guess if we continue down this path of these two teams and how they are intersecting one another today on their own timelines, let's begin to talk a little bit about, I guess, some of the matches that Mousesports have played up to this point.
Yeah, so I think we can also put this in context with the gravitas of what this means for Mousesports now having to play 4 games, right? They're within that top 7 at the moment. So this is a team who's poised to take a position and make it to the playoffs in Odense later this year. As we have this up on the screen, we can see that they split series with North, but then alternatively, they also split series with Ago, which is a team you'd be expecting them to beat relatively easily. And it's on Inferno, both of their losses on the screen. That'll be the first map of the evening going down right now against Fnatic. That is a bit of a problem. mousesports have never been fantastic at a map like Inferno, and the reason for that is they're not such a good team at opening up rounds, but they're fantastic in the mid rounds. And on Inferno, you need to make sure you have good map control, good communication, good utility usage to start things off before you can even get to the mid round. So that's a lot of their problem right there.
Right from the get-go. You have to start building a solid foundation. Well, we can begin to take a look at some head-to-head comparison that we have here between Brolin and Rops.
Yes.
Now, Chad, you identified these two players, and I'm sure you've got a good reason.
Yeah, so the reason that we've gone for both these guys is they are the resident youngsters within their squad, the pure CSGO players, the future, the talent of tomorrow. So to get them right here and display what they have in this server going head-to-head will be very unique. I think Henry will be able to highlight throughout the cast just little moves that these guys have that are different to say if players who have played Source, who have played 1.6, they have predetermined ideas about the way things should be done from iterations of Counter-Strike that existed a long time ago, whereas Brolin and Rops only play to the strengths of CSGO, and that's what makes them so fun to watch, right? Because of their movement, the way that they apply themselves in the server. It's all about that Go lifestyle.
Yeah,
and not Pokemon Go.
Yeah, because nobody plays that around here. In fact, we're adults. We don't play that. We don't play Fortnite. We play Counter-Strike Global Offensive and literally nothing else. Except for these next two, they play a little bit of slap and pickle sometimes. We do have that of Sadakist and Henry
What is
Greer.
that?
I don't know, one of the games he's always talking about. I've not played it myself, but any good.
But if you guys want to play different games, make sure you uninstall them when you're done.
That's always fine
good
advice.
point.
Save
And
the
don't
space,
change
got
the
a
mouse
point.
sensitivity along with many other things.
Or the NVIDIA settings. Keep it as is.
What have you guys been talking about then?
We've been talking about Inferno.
Here, yeah, exactly what we're going to talk about is Inferno. And I know he said that you would chime in during the broadcast, but I think we'd love to hear what you have to say right now going into Inferno.
I love what Chad is bringing to the table here. I've always said 2018, it's the year of the young man in CSGO. It's where the old dogs are dropping off. The big names aren't as household anymore. We're not seeing them lift the same trophies, find the same success. It's all about these young guns, and people are picking them up left, right, and center. Brolan is going to be a massive talent in the future. He is fantastic. Great mechanical skill, great movement, just a good overall package, and he's going to be molded into something brilliant. He's playing with some legends here, and he's against mousesports. So like Chad said, we've got Rops in there as well. So we've got some young guns going toe-to-toe. It's going to be Inferno. And now Fnatic have had some really up and down results in Pro League so far, but I actually don't think it's indicative of where they're at right now. They've only just recently got this squad together. I feel like it's stronger than what we've seen so far in Pro League. I feel like mousesports will edge this, but I think it's going to be a really good game. I feel like it's going to be like a 16-13 sort of affair. You can see the odds coming in. mousesports slightly favored as Crims looks to open things up here. He's not going to find much, but he does spot them crossing towards middle at least. And we are off. Rops is using that aggressive playstyle to get towards quad and get some information there.
Twist making contact, will drop away from it. Sticko, meanwhile, having the Glock, will still work around from quad. They've got Sunny, and I think it's Christian. Library, take it back. Rob still has Twist down. Sunny's gone. Rob says the site bomb will be recovered, and it's onto the rotation for both Twist and Crims, or excuse me, existing Crims. It's kind of like Twist backwards. Listen, my mind is in disarray, Henry. We've been in two places today.
We've been all over the place. Copenhagen.
And Copenhagen.
It will be, though, the 2 versus 1. mousesports in a great position. Crims does have the kits, the flashbang. Actually, I think that was maybe a decoy. We'll see what happens here. He'll make his way through. It's not looking likely he can pull this one off the bomb. Ticking at some pace now, coming at the halfway mark. Needs 2 quick headshots. Whether that's even possible at this point, I'm not sure. Rops will take him down. There we go. It will be a lovely little round there from mousesports. Nice and aggressive towards middle. Trading out the kills. Bomb down. And if you trade effectively, you should have the advantage considering there's normally just 2 players, maybe 3 on the A-bomb side. And it will be mousesports coming out on top. As we know, we've discussed this meta all week. You might be getting a bit bored of it, but there are some new viewers. We're just going to go over this one more time. And that's it. We're not going to mention it again tonight. There is a new meta. There is a new financial system. Second round, you don't win the pistol, you get 1900 now instead of 1400, meaning the pistol has less weight to it. You can buy up in the 3rd round instead of the 4th now. And that's exactly what Fnatic are going to try and do here. They're going to have USPs. And like I said, the objective usually, get a couple of kills. You're not going to win this round, but if you can get a couple, that's fantastic. There's the first and a second as well. That's about par for the course, I would say. It will be exists going down, but that's exactly what they want in map. 2 kills coming in, another $300 for a couple of the players there, and it means their buy is slightly boosted. They'll have a couple more smokes, perhaps.
Absolutely. You could certainly see that when JW was boosted, they thought they might get a headshot from that position, but Twist got taken down. He was standing on Twist's shoulders, lost his aim, fell down. Things were recovered quite quickly. We have an AWP out for Twist already. They will not be one on the T side. In fact, they have a Galil for Chris J. The reinvestment round 2, if you die now, almost means that you're worse off in the first gun round. There's not enough time to establish the money, I feel like, even when you win. So in some ways, losing the pistol gives you the better gun round now. I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, that's why I call it the third round now, like the bonus round almost. And I feel that the teams need to be very careful with their purchasing. You can't just go all Mac 10s and MP7s, right? You need to make sure.
No, but it's not even that. It's that, like, let's say in the previous round you did buy something. So the case here was that Chris J started out with a Galil because he was one of the players that died in the last round, if I'm not mistaken. So because he's had to buy 2 consecutive rounds in a row, it's almost like he doesn't have any reserve money when he does have to buy. So you're right. You can't just buy SMGs as much as you used to.
Yeah.
But the point is, no matter what you buy, if you die, you're going to have less options than what your counterpart.
That's why you got to make sure you're very effective and methodical, even in that second round against
you
the full
can't give
USP.
players away.
And that's the problem. If you just do what they did there, sure, they won the round, they only lost 2, but still, that's significant, especially if you lose this first quote-unquote gun round, because at that point, you're going to be pretty much reset. We'll see what happens as we find ourselves on a 4-on-4 here. It's Crims that exist to defend B, and they're going to have to be strong. 4 mousesports players make their way through. They still have 2 smokes. You can see this is the problem in the third round. The CT side especially, you have almost no utility towards the latter stages of the round. Smoke towards Coffins. Crims will be calling for a rotation. You can see JW making his way over. He gets tagged up through the Coffin boxes there, and Exix flashed off as well. He needs to be so careful there. How he's still alive, how that position got checked, I'll never know, but Sticko, he will pre-fire in the end and take him down. Smoke's still very problematic for Fnatic. They have 1 kit and no kill for JW. A little bit of damage there, but now it's a 4 versus 2. He has the AWP and it will be removed. Sticko, great round by him. 3 kills. A triumphant return. It looks so comfortable now. No one's really talking about the fact Sticko's back in the squad, Matt. It's like everyone's just so used to it already.
No, well, this is the mousesports we came to know and love last year that had so much success, that won an ECS almost a year ago at this point in time, and had many other triumphant victories throughout the course of the year. And Snacks coming in was cool, but like to me, it didn't even have that much hype because Snacks was already on a much degraded Virtus Pro lineup, and it hadn't been something to write home about for so long.
And it's not like he was locked up there in a cage and performing really well, right? He had
exactly. I think that's the bigger part of it. It wasn't like they were bringing in like the only star player remaining from Virtus Pro.
Yeah.
So yeah, in some ways, I kind of think that it was an overhyped signing, if you will.
Yeah, a real waste of time and unfortunately money as well. If you think about the 3 months they had together, including the signing fee and the time they lost where they could have been practicing with Sticko and developing their game. But maybe it was a bit of a refresher, you know? It's just like one of those things, you know? Like you miss someone, you don't realize until they're gone. It's
Don't always seem to go, but you don't know what you got till it's gone. They paved paradise, Henry.
Exactly.
And they put up a parking lot.
Is this going to be another one of those nights?
I wasn't singing it though, but
Okay,
it could be
true.
if you want it to be. I mean, I can.
I
Probably
mean, maybe
sing it.
after the first map. I need to warm up into it.
All right. Don't it always seem to go?
I'm surprised you know the lyrics. I know the chorus. I don't know anything else. Paved paradise.
Put up a parking lot.
Put up a parking lot.
Yeah.
Oh, it's over that level. We have cars all over the bloody place.
That's
true. What do you want? We can put them in
Cars.
one nice quiet place. We can have them all over the place. What do you want?
Oh, I like cars, so
Yeah.
whatever. You need every car in the world, in theory, needs 2 parking spots. One for where it is and one for where it's going.
True.
Which is why there's always needs for parking lots.
Yeah. Well, Twist, he'll be on the AWP for Inferno, it seems. They can't really make their mind up as to who is the main AWPer. It was announced to be JW, but obviously Twist is so capable. I think it's just Inferno who's main AWPer. I've casted him a few times now with this new lineup. It seems to be Inferno. He picks it up full time, especially on the CT side, and that's why I remember casting most of his memorable moments with the AWP was on Inferno back in the day. So it makes sense. It's where he probably feels most comfortable. As we go for another default here, will be mousesports 4-0 up on Inferno on the T side. That's pretty remarkable when you start breaking it down, because they are the favourite team going into this one. I felt like Fnatic needed a decent start and some momentum behind them to actually stand a chance against a really well-prepared team like mousesports. Remember, just bringing Sticko back in, he was essentially just plugging the holes where Stacks didn't want to play. It's just all his old positions, all his old roles, back to the system they know works, and everyone's probably a little bit hyped up. They've got a bit more of a honeymoon period and realizing they're back.
Snacks didn't want to play. They didn't really change much for Snacks in general. In fact, it looked like at New York. I asked Christian in the elevator before New York, before the finals, I said, what do you make of the team with Snacks? Do you guys feel like you're finally catching up to where you were? And I phrased it that way, catching up to where you were, because it was a setback, honestly, to bring them in. They were doing so well, they just hoped that it would take them one better. And he said, maybe it finally is now. And then they won the event. I thought, okay, we'll give it a chance. And then boom, gone.
I feel like contracts had already been agreed upon and signed at that point. I feel like it was just like, regardless of the result, that was always going to happen. But here we go. Fnatic are up and about. It's up to Oscar to shut down their defense, but it's not going to happen now. Just Sunny, great rifler, but unfortunately overwhelmed on the A-bomb side. It will be 4-1. Fnatic post their first and keep 3 players up, including the AWP of Twist. Not too bad. It will still be plenty of cash, bucket loads of it. 4 mousesports in, no timeouts just yet. Oscar is going to buy the AWP, I'd say, before he gets dropped it by Rops, which he will. T-side AWP, it's difficult to operate with, but a player like Oscar, I'm not worried at all. He is so talented, so fast, and loves to get stuck in. We'll see whether he can cause some damage here. Will be a nice fast approach from Sunny. Takes minimal damage. Negates the utility. And Fnatic are allowing him to have full banana control. They're not challenging this at all. Doesn't look like they're setting up for a retake either. They're just going to hold up here. And in terms of the reset potential, there's actually 3 players who are actually very vulnerable to it. Need to be careful here. That's Brolan, Twist, and JW.
Brolan, it's so nice to see him on board. It's so nice to see this young talent coming through.
Well, I remember speaking to Get Right maybe 4 or 5 months ago. I think he was maybe...
He singled him out.
Yeah, and I was like, who do you think like the next big thing in Sweden? He goes, well, there's this Brolan kid that everyone's talking about, and like he's unbelievably good. Like if he gets in the experienced team, like he could be the next big thing. And if Get Right says that, I normally listen to him. He normally...
Yeah, he certainly knows a thing or two about Counter-Strike, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's got a few tricks up his sleeve in that regard. Hang on, because we've got a banana take about to happen, Hank, with 47 seconds left. Utility, there's enough. There's 3 Molotovs, 3 smokes. Those can be deployed both in coffins and CT positions. They're going to go for the wall, so this might be a wrap to ruins. That was a bit of a miss, though. They actually extinguished their own Molotov, unfortunately.
Yeah, this could be the push towards CT spawn and focusing on that instead.
That last Molotov thrown's pretty clever as well, because it actually pushes Xix back. Now, the plan is obviously the smokes last longer than the Molotovs. They'd push through as it was extinguished and have him out of position. Exactly that, and get the kill. But they haven't gone for the wrap because the rotations were already in place. Doesn't even matter. They're just going to kill everyone. Ooh. Look at that, Chris.
See you later, JW. That's such a sick strategy. I love that one. Like, why does everyone do the same execution every time? Smoke coffin, smoke spawn, Molotov, and flash. It's so telegraphed as what you're doing. Sometimes, sure, you can do a fake of it, but why not have variations? Why not say, well, we can isolate the player on bomb site like we usually do, but there could be 2 players there. There's definitely not going to be 2 players in spawn. We smoke off the bomb site and focus on him. We're always going to trade him out. There's no way. He's got nowhere to go. And that's such a wise idea, I think. And I'm surprised we don't see more teams do it, to be honest. It's such a strong strategy. And I'd love to see a variation, right? The next level. You go for the A split, and you go
back through CT spawn to A.
Library.
That is like reverse of all of the strategies of trying to take top mid. That would
then
be
you
next
catch
level.
all the players in transition, knives out, trying to come towards B. They think it's a full-on take, and you're in CT spawn.
Knives out for the boys.
Yeah, I always wanted to do that on maps like Dust 2 as well. When I was in game leading, it never really worked out. I didn't have finalized it. On maps like Dust 2, for example, you've got the B split. Why are we not going through CT spawn with 3 players and smoking off towards the window and the doors of B and going through CT spawn and splitting A like that, because it's so unexpected and not done. I feel like there's so much more potential with those sort of interesting strategies in areas we don't really consider to be strategic. But maybe I'll save those for when I'm back to playing.
You coming back?
Yeah, I might come back.
You coming back?
Yeah, one more year.
What am I going to do?
You can be the coach.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in. I like that. I always said I'd make a good coach. If you're not first, you're last. Make sure you get 5 kills in the round.
Come on, guys, just kill them all. That's all you have to do. It's so easy.
Savings for pussies. Buy the weapons. Force up.
Bring me the pistols.
Bring me the pistols!
Okay, well, Matthew Lake will have to be put away for now as we are in a 3-on-3. And we'll see whether Brolan and his M4 already found him 1 frag. Will it be enough? Time will tell. Right now, probably not. Exist is alone in B with just the CZ. It's the 2 rifles that patrol the A bomb site. If Exister goes down with nothing, they're going to have to save at this point.
Gonna have to save. Just like you, Chad, you're gonna have to shave. It's Movember. It's time. 5-1 for mousesports over Fnatic. Both teams trying desperately to hold on to a potential land berth. Oscar. Towards CT late exist is boosted up on Orange's 1. I say boosted, self-boost at this point in time in this iteration, but still finds the shot brilliantly. CZ tries to shoulder peek back out and does do damage to Rops, but not a kill. Bomb will be recovered. 14 seconds. They have to plant it in what is now a 2 versus 2. Smoke down, thankfully, still means they won't be able to spot through it. They certainly weren't really in position to fire at it either, but Chris now positions himself accordingly with the AWP. He'll watch Banana and therefore have the post plant on the bomb, planted slightly open, as Rops has the AK at Emo.
It actually looks pretty good for Fnatic, you know, considering the low HP of Chris. They do not have kits, however, but Bomb's still in a realistic position. It's really down to Rops. With Chris' low HP, he just wants to be playing off the bomb. It looks like Brolan will be setting up a smoke, and this kill could mean a lot. It all comes down to the defuse, and they're going to get it. I'm not sure. Oh, they actually have. It's pretty comfortable. I think we're fine.
Pretty sick retake. Didn't even take any damage. Chris not able to hit the shots, and then backside of the side AK didn't do anything. So Fnatic get it 5-2. Clip it.
Clip. Well, we can't do that again.
So, would you like to speak?
I can speak a
You
little
thought
bit.
about speaking. I thought about speaking. We'll agree on who can agree on what.
Well, this is, again, Fnatic in a decent position. They win the little partial buy there, but still, you can see they're fully invested. Haven't escaped the reset potential just yet. That was a great retake, fantastic work, and like you said, kept 2 players up. Managed to negate Chris Jane's AWP. Not an easy task. They have an ult for themselves once again. This is Twist. 3 kills to his name up against the mighty Oscar. Let's see if he can find the first kill. Looking likely he will. Absolutely will. And it will be Rops to be dropped. That's towards the apartments. No flashes used, no double peek from the bedroom side. It's all about a single peek from Rops as they get ready to receive a nade by the looks of things. They're going to smoke out towards the end of the apartments. Smoke down just to block CT vision. Now, this smoke is a little bit more trickier to navigate your way through. You can throw the smoke on top of the hay bales, gives you a little less cover, but it means you actually have a bit of vision. Brolan waiting for flashbangs, and he's in such a good spot here. This is very smart by him. The fact he's in graveyard looking above that smoke, he's got a couple of kills here guaranteed. There it is. Really nice work. And Oscar will pick up 1, but that's pretty much round here. It's going to take something absolutely magical from him as he flashes out towards the site. Pretty desperate flashes at this point. CT's just going to be waiting for the commitment towards the sites. And at that point, round should be over. I don't see any more kills for the T's here, to be honest, considering the current setup. There's Oscar trying his best, but should be JW picking that up quite easily. And now Oscar at this point, 2 isolated, can't do much, running out of time. And that might be the first league. I don't think so. I think they're all hovering around $4,000 or just under. So I think they'll buy one more time. But Brolan, as said, that setup, perfectly done, using his teammates on the sites and repositioning around the smokes. So, Oscar has one more up.
Yep. One more. Could be more if the one more turns into a winning round. Oscar T side, we build it up a lot. Has it delivered lately? I feel like it's not been as promising.
Definitely not as of the last couple of weeks, but it always has the potential. You can never underestimate it.
Well, Twist tries to get aggressive, but JW shotgun gets a kill, gets away somehow. He's still alive in the round. Brolan's been taken out by Sticko. So they've evened it up, and they'll need to be somewhat aware of the fact JW still wants to use that shotgun to good effect. Chris J, meanwhile, back on the Krieg. 2 kills with it last time we saw him wield the weapon. $50, buy a decoy, buy a Krieg. Exist takes down Oscar, so Opcon already. The flash timing was there for the shotgun, but couldn't hit the shot. Chris able to fire back and return, and smokes down in front of Library. They'll have to concede the fact that the bomb will go down inevitably. Krim still wants to hold it top middle, wants to time this with his teammates. He could have gone for a peek potentially around quad, but he would have done so completely alone had he elected that route. And instead, Exist aware of the smoke situation, will call them off for a moment longer and may actually call them off altogether. I don't think that's the case though, because they've got the op finally. Yeah, that Molotov, though, I think you got to at this point. Surely you're not going to give this a go. You've got kits on all three, so fair play if they can get this in a quick fashion with low HP on 3 of them. Crims hasn't gotten a way in. Chris, Sticko find kills, and there it is. Exist is out. It just didn't seem like they had the information.
It seems like it's such a difficult retake in that particular scenario. If you do allow the bomb to go down, even in a 3-on-3 thing, oh, it sounds quite equal, but the positioning that the T's get, the advantages in terms of the crossfires, so significant. And Sticko, fair play to him, he's actually looking unbelievably sharp this evening. He's 11-4, but I've seen all his frags, and they've all been really impactful. Nothing that's just an eco frag here and there. He's actually making solid entries and recovering difficult situations as well. So great to see him performing at a top level. Another eco, like we said, on the cusp of a reset. Fnatic will enter P250 mode, no armor. A few smokes. No pumpkins today, Matt. We lost those.
I missed them already. Bring them back.
Yeah, back to just the boring old shield with a hat in it.
Shield with a hat in it.
Yep.
It's kind of what it is, isn't it? It's like a little British policeman hat.
Yeah.
What do they call those? It's got to be a name for those.
Just Bobby's hat, I think.
Bobby's hat.
Yeah.
Not
I'm sure
Jimmy's.
it has a proper technical name. I don't know what that would be.
Like a bowler. Isn't it a bowler? Isn't that what Sherlock Holmes wears? No shit, Sherlock. Broland's dead. Oscar with the kill and the AK-47. He'll keep trucking along toward the library where he'll read a manual on how to win the round.
Bit of a stalemate of Banana right now. You can see Sunny's about to take down a Twist potentially here. Oh, hello. There it is. There was a bit of a B stack. Fortunately, that's not going to work out for Fnatic here because Bomb is officially heading towards the A side. Sunny's locking them in from Banana rotations. They've got Library under control. At this point, they would just be offering themselves up for free. Let's see what happens as Oscar makes his way through. Holding Library. Waiting for his chance to find a few more kills. They do not need to hunt it. They know they've not given any rifles away. There's only pistols to collect. None of them have an SMG to get the extra cash. So why not? Just hold up. Don't be baited around the corner, Oscar. They are waiting. Extremely careful there. There's the first. Crims getting a little bit agitated in the corner there. Wants to find the next shot. Not going to happen though. No armor. Melts at the hands of the AK-47. No kills picked up at all. 4 for Oscar. Great for the AWPer. Means he gets a nice reservoir of cash to work with now.
So 7-3 T side. mousesports. We've got a decision to be made on this CT side. JW with 5,400 will certainly be charitable, and that's exactly the call. So Broland stays with the M4. Exist with the FAMAS. It's not a bad team for Broland to be on. I really do look to Exist to have to be the leader to full mold him, though. I don't think Twist is quite the guy to do it, given that he's been in and out of top teams.
Yeah.
JW can certainly help. Crims is a little more quiet, so I think it's really Exist that's going to be molding this young man.
They don't really have any big characters in that team, though.
It's absolutely true. That's kind of where I was going with it. There's no like a I don't want to say father figure in that case, but no one that like sticks out to be like that guy will lead him.
Well, like Carrigan, he's certainly got a sort of presence around him, right?
Absolutely.
You know, he has got leadership qualities. I know Exist is very gifted at reading the game and strategically, but I don't see his personality as a leader per se. It's just someone who's played Counter-Strike a long time and done the role for a while, but I don't see him as a natural leader. There's no offense to him at all. It's like some people you just don't get that vibe from, you know? Yeah, if they're going to mold this guy into someone who's going to be a star, they've definitely got the knowledge, but they need to make sure they nurture the talent and make sure he's not picking up bad tendencies and they're working at a maximum efficiency. But here we go then. Crims will be taken down. That's pretty good from Oscar. They go for maybe a B split here. They're going to have players going towards CD spawn. There's a kill here for Exist, though. If he fires now, oh, not going to happen. Exist is edging his way through and actually gets one. That's Oscar going down, upgrades to the AK-47. And now, Sticko. Great. His positioning this week, I've been so impressed with it. Like, he doesn't have the craziest aim or the best mechanics, but his awareness in terms of how can I guarantee myself a kill? How can I outsmart my opponents? Who kind of rings true to the way I used to play. I never had the best aim.
Yep.
So, like, when I played like this, I could actually sit in
I was
position
like
to
that
know.
in COD 4. It's like not, if I go one-on-one in the duel every time the same way that he wants me to, I'm losing it.
Sure.
If I go heads up with anyone, I'm likely going to lose it. But if I could play as my role as the MG, the AK-47 in COD 4. If I could somehow outwit them, if I could get them on an off angle, I had it every time.
Yeah, I love those little plays you can make, just in positions people won't expect you, or you know there's been so much presence towards one part of the map, they won't necessarily think you could be here as you snuck your way through. And that's what Sticker's very good at, actually. I've noticed that quite a lot the last week. He's just very good at...
And a lot of that is to, like, swallow your pride and say, I'm not going to beat this guy one-on-one. How can I? You've got to really think. You've got to accept that.
Yeah, just
a lot of people like just stubbornly try and take the same fight. It's like, why?
It's all about taking calculated risks and like, well, if I take this, your chances are going to beat me. Probably not the best idea to do it. So then at this point, my teammates are going in. I know this is the key choke point. They got to be suspecting us of going towards B, but I'll stay here in a really odd position. I'm in the middle of Speedway right now. No one's expecting you to be there. So it's really quite clever little setup from him. And it's going to be 8-3 Fnatic with just one safe rifle here. It's not looking too ideal. They've gone full eco apart from that. And we will see a couple of deagles, CZ, a smoke, or two. There is a defuse kit. I won't say this round is a complete foregone conclusion. We're allowed to play out. This boost can be a lot of fun. Trying this last week on no kills. But it's a nice little setup. It means you can have a bit of a dodgy angle for the T's to receive, and that's not bad. There we go. It's actually a 4 versus 3, and Robs has been dinged, so that boost actually pays dividends here. And it's going to be a difficult recovery, but... like we said, Sticko playing some great CS tonight. 13 kills, 5 deaths. He has got the advantage with all of these players without armor right now. They've killed the only player that saved the weapon. That was JW. That rifle's been recovered, but still, aim punch is a massive factor here as Sticko continues to dissect the map. Twist. What is he up to? He's sitting in the smoke right now. And Brolan takes another. This is actually looking very good for Fnatic, but Sticko strikes potentially at the right time here. Coming around towards Arch. 4-on-2.
Sticko swinging, and although he's undetected thus far, I was going to say, I think Twist was ready for it. Certainly looked like for a moment he would back away trying to get an angle to the quad. There's no need to do so because Berlin was still there. Berlin is still there. Berlin takes down Rops, and the round is finished. Fnatic pick it up. We go 8-4. So a fourth on the CT side, but they really need more than that. The boost, Twist, he manages to at least respond, but they lost immediately. That was a good recovery from him, though, all things considered. Switches to the rifle, backs away, nails a shot.
Nailed it. Well, that's another eco victory for Fnatic. That's 2 now. So, still 8-4 down with 2 eco victories. That really doesn't bode well, actually, for the bigger picture. Oscar looking so aggro today, just walking up at these choke points and challenging with the AK. Happy to do it. Didn't cost him anything. Saved themselves a few grenades, actually. Full-on contact play towards that position. That's a good shot from Twist. Takes down the aforementioned Oscar. And they can fall back now. They've got this advantage. They've barely taken any damage. Terra's going to have to use utility to get further on the map and progress towards the bomb site. You just need to hold crossfires now. Get information, hold them back. Read the map. Be conservative with the smokes and incendiaries you have. Use them when they're finally committing if you can get that read. You don't need to rotate anyone over. You don't need to risk any part of the map. Just play a very default setup.
Rops waiting to work his way out from the apartment. JW still waiting to try and hold off the doorway. Meanwhile, as that flash was thrown, Chris J was caught by it and fired in, thinking perhaps someone was going to counter peek him and therefore gives his position away. Also, again, just a note on that Krieg. Molotov, or rather incendiary, goes down front side of the bathrooms. Bathrooms are not bathrooms, they're libraries. Got to be quiet in both places, perhaps. Broland's gotten Chris because he's forced forward. Twist will hold behind the box, and the AK-47 will help JW's positioning, but it's another Fnatic round, I think, guaranteed now, with the bomb falling inside of the site and then confirmed with the kill on a Rops.
Fnatic bringing this back. Might be a little bit too late, but to be fair, they get 7. We've seen plenty of strong T-sides recently. Have they broken enough of mousesports at this point to yield an eco? Doesn't look like it. Chris J straight in with that AWP. And they're going to buy into the round and hope he can carry it. So, still yet to eco. Mousesports went around number 14 with a mixed purchase. AK, AWP, pistols, Tech 9 for Sticko. They're making a bit of a comeback, it seems. Chris J takes some nade damage at the start. And Crims and Exist start the procedure to potentially get some banana control here. Good grenade towards Sticko, but a better shot from Chris J. Takes down Exist. we'll find ourselves in a 5-4. They can try and recover that rifle, which is almost certain going to happen because you can see there it is. Rops and Sunny now with rifles, and they have a man advantage. Looking quite good.
Sunny waiting to work his way back inside as well. Patient with the smokes already down inside of the site. No one pushing down middle, so they don't really need to worry too much, but they will send a single player, and a single player only in the form of Oscar, toward the top of mid to evaluate what is heading in that direction. He'll now join in with the rest of mousesports. Smokes go over, Twist will see it. He'll counter out with an 8 as well, and then try and hold position, hold station at B. Krim's great position, sat back, off angle, finds one, drops down, takes Sticko as well. Fnatic finally coming to life on the CT side as Krim sprays into the smoke, finds a 4th. He's looking for the ace, and he might find it because they're low enough on HP. Grabs the AK, needs to simmer down, sees the barrel. That's an ace. That's an ace for Krims.
Not a bad one either. Lots of chaotic kills through the smoke. They line up for him, and they didn't give up a single kill after the first. Very well done. You can see this positioning. Fantastic from him. Manages to take them down one by one. This is the most impressive part, though. Cleanly through the smoke. 2 kills, both headshots. Why not? And then at that point, why not? Let him off the leash. Let him get the ace. Give it to him. He spots the barrel. And it will be a lovely round there from Krim. It's actually turning around for Fnatic. They're looking for this last round. Pretty good stead to pick it up. So just against the was Tech 9's here. No CZs. Wow. What a historic day. Tech 9 actually taking most of the action.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? It's like Blast from the Past. Past from the cast.
Cast of the past.
We are the casters of the pastors.
There we go, final commitment towards A sites. It looks like a bit of a shooting gallery for old Twist here. Hitting everything, 2 out of 2 so far. Can he make it a clean round? 0 misses. Well, no, he cannot. But it's looking pretty good still. He'll be taken down here presumably by Sunny. Indeed he will, but I don't think that's going to really do much for them in terms of the round results because Broland's there, so does Exist, and Sticko left in a 4 versus 1. It's going to be 8-7. It was looking so good for mousesports. All of a sudden, Fnatic came online with that eco victory and ran away with the remainder of the half. They've got to split it right down the middle. mousesports on the T side, I'd say it's still quite a significant victory for them. But Inferno just doesn't seem as CT-sided as it used to be. I feel like with the banana battle going on every single round, and that's so up in the air, it feels like the T's can keep up. It's not the strong arms map it used to be for the counter-terrorists. If you think back to, like, this is pretty much a mirror version of the CS Source version. I guess the key factor is we didn't have Molotovs in that version of the game, and that's why...
Yeah, Molotovs are game-breaking.
Yeah, so they flush out the CTs, right? You can have these amazing crossfires, but Molotovs really changed that, and it means they have to challenge.
I was surprised it took so long for the Molotovs to be, like, realized by teams, to really, like, understand how crucial they were. I think people thought, like, oh, this is useless, I can't kill anyone with these. It's not about killing, it's about position with Molotovs.
Yes, and pushing them back and then taking over a certain part of the map. Sure, they can get kills, but it's all about making people uncomfortable, essentially pushing them out of positions, putting them in duels they don't want to be in, and stuff like that. So, yeah, absolutely. I remember when CSGO first came out, you couldn't extinguish in the smokes, they were just perpetual until they ran out.
That was bad.
So it was just like, the game was so broken because you could just stop every rush. You couldn't rush in the game because they just throw an incendiary down. Well, I don't know anything about that. I guess we'll wait. So it's cool. They did fix it, obviously, but it was a weird 6 months or so when you couldn't extinguish anything.
Well, Sticko, he's a psycho. He's going to try and hold off. Oh, he's got to run down the hallway. Try and hold off Boiler. His teammate Oscar only managed to get the second man in the hall, so he's since perished. Sticko's still trying to find better positioning. He's been overwhelmed. He's been overrun. He's been jumped on like a trampoline as Exist jumped off the balcony and took him down. It's now Broland. Broland with 2 to try and respond. Sonny's doing the same. He'll get shut out by Twist, and it's Fnatic that win the round 8-8.
There we go. All tied up. And it'll be mousesports now. With the full eco, similar situation we saw in the first half. T side of the advantage, CT's the full eco. Inferno, you can purchase up in the second round, but I don't think that's happening right here. Indeed, they just get 1 P250 because Sunny got a kill. takes his money down to the same as his teammates, as you can see. So he'll be hoping to pay off the debts there. Get 1 kill with the PT-50. Remove about 4K's worth of kit on a terrorist. That's the exchange if he does get a successful kill. Full-on middle stack though from mousesports. No one in B. Just holding up and going to challenge together in a second. Off they go. They're going to walk down towards middle. First kill goes in their favor. I love this little rat pack mentality we're seeing in some of these rounds now. He's just going for a couple of kills. They get 3 now. And it's going to leave Rops not necessarily in a winnable situation. I say that. The bomb is down in a really difficult spot. He's finding damage there. Oh, exist. That's so awkward.
You're awkward.
I know, but that was as well.
Our first date was awkward. That's not amazing. We've got UMP versus UMP in a one-on-one. How often do you see that?
He's going towards B as well. Rops looking to potentially find an AK here. Let's get the Galil. Plant will come towards B. JW more than likely to win the round. But still, this is impressive. Drops has to just go investigate A. It's not there, of course. Now knows it's B. Damn, I'll have to just hope for the best here. See if there is a free kill available. Worth a little probe. He has to make so much noise, though. JW will turn about now. Here's him coming. Takes him down. Why not? You know he's got no armor. You've got a huge advantage with the sound cues. Just take the shot. And it will be 9-8. But this is Fnatic in a very compromised position. Losing 4 players there was not part of the strategy. And we're seeing that a lot. Teams not taking that round as they should.
Well, and this is exactly it, because losing 4 players, we talked about it. Now, even though they've won the pistol, they've won the second round, you would think, hey, all that winning, you're going to have the better buy. You don't right now, because you have to reinvest twice. You don't have the same bonus, whereas they're already into a 3rd round bonus after 2 rounds now coming off the pistol. So truthfully, losing it, so long as you get kills, you're going to have the better gun round. I don't know how I feel about that yet. Maybe that's why we're seeing so much back and forth in the economy right now, because it's so easy to just break them back. Like it's, yeah, I don't know. There's something about it. I'm not. I like that it doesn't make the pistol round as top heavy. You don't necessarily get 6 rounds for it guaranteed. I like that we get to the gun round sooner. I don't know that I like that the team who lost the pistol gets the better gun round the majority of the time. That's my only observation so far.
We're still learning.
It is. It's just an observation. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just what I guess my opinion on it so far, but we'll see. And maybe that's inconsequential to the longer results of it. So
yeah, I think this weekend will be indicative as to what's actually happening with the ideas behind the purchase and stuff. There's going to be a lot of teams that have ideas and things they want to try out on land that teams won't expect. And it might not seem like a massive change, but trust me, some of these analysts and coaches have got some fantastic ideas brewing for this weekend. So we'll hold judgment, at least I will until then. And we'll be into a 3-on-2. It's mousesports with the lead, 25 seconds remaining. It's the terrorist. I've got to get his bomb down, of course. It's currently down in the pits. Twist. Any player of HP here looking for a frag. Sticko again. Advantage with the sound cue. Exists. This one can't win the round, but might as well try and make it expensive. He does that towards Sunny. So it will be tied up once more. Mousesports with that 3rd round victory. And there won't be a buy available, I'd imagine, for Fnatic, considering they lost 4 players in the 2nd round. That really was not usual. That shouldn't be happening against a fully eco team. They had 4 USPs and 1 PT-50, no nades. So they will take the force buy, but you can see it's not great. CZs, Tech-9s, and a few nades. What's the play here? Just gonna try and open things up. Ideally, you want a couple of deagles to that range. This is such a Sunny play, isn't it? He loves pushing down towards the bottom of the middle. Unfortunately, the grenades will block his vision, but still finding frags, and that flashbang's not going to be ideal for him, but still finding the kills. It's going to be a 3 versus 1 with Exist on the Tech-9. They are force-bought into this, so that's going to be round pretty much. He does find an AK, so maybe I spoke too soon. They make a couple of mistakes. He could have a window here.
Exist. Yep, absolutely could have found Chris J when he stepped out wide, but he knew exactly when to do it and why, and he had the MP7, so it's now mousesports getting double digits first. That's not surprising when you considered how far their lead was, or how established their lead was on the T side, but they certainly lost momentum, and the fact that Fnatic was able to actually strike for the pistol at an 8-7 score at half means it's still a notable task. CT side now, we'll see if they can stretch their legs, because it's exactly what we talked about. You don't have as good of a gun round, you end up getting broken down sooner as a result of it. And now the team that lost the pistol can maybe take a stretch on that. I'm going to be very curious to see the halftime statistics from Peter from HLTV, because it's it wouldn't surprise me if the team that lost pistol ends up with the majority of the rounds in halves right now, just based on the economy system and breaking the team in return. Great spray down, by the way. Crim's left with 3 HP. The fact that he's still in this and they got 2 kills off of it is not a bad situation. AK-47 picked up. Has no armor to go along with that, but couldn't do economic damage at this point in time.
It's pretty much all he can do. He'll be holding up with the 3 HP, just hoping a CT gets impatient. Why not? He can wait all day. He's got the bomb. He knows if he goes near the site, they're going to have to kill him if he goes for a plant, so there's no risk of getting no cash. But Oscar in the off angle takes him down. It will be Crims dropping to the AK-47. Another in favour of mousesports there. 9. Nice spray down from Chris. Crims gets 1 AK from that eco, but couldn't find any frags with it. Money not exactly out of control, but very decent, for at least for Rops. You can see Chris J will take the AWP here. Oscar will just be shy of $5,000, so if they win this round, they are very comfortable indeed. Sunny pushing again, that's so wild. Just going right down there. Brave, to say the least, but he will be dropped. It's going to be Twist to get the opening kill. See, if he doesn't find 3 kills, it's actually quite detrimental towards his team, because there's no trade potential there. There's no fallback strategy. They just have to be wounded as a squad and try and recover.
So the man advantage to Fnatic as Crims wants to work out from Boiler. Smoke goes down top middle. AK-47. Smoke tossed casually toward the archway side. It bounces off the wall, so it's not in the arch. It's actually the close one. That's going to force Sticko to rotate back around. He doesn't want to play close to it. Wall of smoke toward the pit. They want to isolate the pit, and yet Sticko says, that's completely fine. I want to play there. Interesting decision. He wants to anchor the site and stay alive because he's the only one on this side of the map. Problem is the Molotov forces him back out. Those smokes are due to expire. He's going to use them to his advantage, and very well struck to get 2 in that situation. Still, they have to wait for the rotation. So bomb will go down. He had 2 options. One was with time low-ish, get as many kills as he could, mop the floor. Or 2, try and stay alive and let the rotation happen sooner. Unfortunately, even with his 2 kills, they get the bomb plant and they're going to have to save on the mousesports side.
Yeah, 2 kills is not enough in that situation, unfortunately. He has found plenty today, but why not take the eco? Well, the save, I should say, not the eco. They've got 2 AKs right now. The AWP is very unlikely to win this round. You cannot buy AKs on the CT side, of course. They're very valuable. You'll even see in overtime people leaving the AWPs not on the ground and taking the AKs on the CT side. As Oscar, that's a very brave move by himself, looking for exit kills. Not sure that was worth. Let's get one of them, but like we said, the money's decent for mousesports, so that's fine. Just would have been nice to keep 2 AKs there for the players like Sunny. Chris Chase still on the AWP. 20 kills to his name. Sticko 19. At the top is Brolan and Twist for Fnatic. Will be the new signings getting it done. Crims, Exist, and JW. What a difference a year makes in terms of the Fnatic lineup. Very different to the glory days. I would have thought Exist would actually play on this team eventually. Such a rivalry initially in CSGO.
Gotta love rivalries. And numbers. There's been many.
What's been the best one for you? The 2
Navi
teams?
Luminosity.
Yeah, that was cool, wasn't it? Like, that was probably realized, I guess, at Cluj-Napoca.
It was 8-1 against each other. I would say it kind of started around Cluj-Napoca.
Yeah, that's where we began. I just remember
it was,
that sick game they had. Like, we casted that at the quarterfinals, I think.
Yeah, and it was like 8-1 in game score to Navi, but the games were always super close.
Yeah.
Including Pro League Season 2, which was in the Burbank studios. But then, after that, you had Columbus. And at Columbus, LG finally got their way, beat Na'Vi in the final to win the major. It was like the one team that was beating them consistently was the team they beat to win the major, and Na'Vi has never won a major. It was just a really cool rivalry story.
Yeah, that is cool.
That was my favorite.
Well, no time for mine. We're getting into that B-bomb, so it's going to be Twist opening things up. Chris J, though, will he be able to defend them off? That's the question here. He'll smoke himself in the corner, trying to negate Molotovs here. He knows he has to find at least one more kill before he goes down to 3 versus 3. If he gets nothing, his teammates won't be able to recover this situation. It's all done. Rops is isolated on the A site, and it will be another round in favor of Fnatic. We're all tied up again. It will be 11-11, ladies and gents.
Boys and girls.
Boys and girls.
Cats and dogs.
Cats and dogs.
Goldfish and turtles.
Turtles? Really? They're even invited to the show?
Bunny rabbits and hamsters.
Chinchillas.
Cockatoos.
I won't even go there. Let's move on and appreciate what Rops is doing right now, saving the weapon. The money is in a pretty detrimental place, actually. You can see they probably won't be able to buy. I guess Rops could drop an orb. Sonny could buy himself. They could force around that, but at this stage of the game, I don't think that's the call that's required. You're on the CT side. It's not like you're financially ruined. I would say a partial buy is fine here. Rops could drop a few PT50s, perhaps. I'll take a timeout. Let's discuss this option.
What version of Counter-Strike is that, Henry?
Counter-Strike 1.5, Matthew.
Thank you, Henry.
No problem.
Do you remember when we talked about that and then dial-up, and then we talked about it again today, and then...
Yeah, it was weird when they asked us in the live stream today, like, oh, so tell us about your gaming memories. Oh, we just talked about that yesterday. Don't
Literally
worry.
last night.
Yeah.
Why, thank you for asking. 11-11, Henry. It's our score.
It is. It's been a while.
It's when you make a wish and you have to touch something red. You doubted that that was real the first time I told you
I just never heard it. I thought, like, I'm like 27. I've never heard 11
Well, you
make a
lived
wish.
in a weird
True.
society. Londinium.
Londinium, yeah.
It's not the most cultured of places.
Not really. It's
actually pretty cultured. Come on now.
it's considered one of the most cosmopolitan cities in Europe, I think. But
Well, let's not get carried away. I would say it's the most cosmopolitan cultured cities in London.
in London, yeah, sure. that works too. Well, here we go. Exist will be completely wrecked at the start. I assume he got tagged out by Chris J. He did assume towards T steps. And we'll see whether these grenades will do any initial damage. Doesn't look like it. Another slow round here from Fnatic, but it's been working out for them. Remember, the new squad only been together just under a month or so with Twist and Brolan. I think maybe just over 2 weeks. I think it would ring true, maybe around that sort of level. JW, this is brave. This is classic JW, isn't it? No nades, no flashes, and why not? Like, everyone's expecting you to deploy those things. If you don't, you're going to catch them by surprise, and these sort of plays can happen. It's not exactly sustainable. I don't think you'll become the world's best team with this setup, but it will win you rounds. And if you can surprise and you're on having a good day, there's absolutely no reason why this can't work. As you saw, mousesports there, not expecting it. There's no telltale signs like, oh, they smoked here, they smoked there, they Molotov this, they're going to come around now. Maybe they'll fake. If you just walk around the corner with nothing, like, how are they going to know? It's classic JW. That's what I always used to say. He throws the Counter-Strike rulebook away. And there's not really much you can do about it when he's hitting the shots. You can be aware of it, but then how do you predict scenarios like that?
You're good at predictions.
Which ones? Just generally?
Yeah. What did you think I meant by that? You like laughed nervously.
Well, I don't know. Like, you're referencing something.
Nah, I just, well, yeah, you know me. Make a joke open-endedly and hope that it lands.
See where it goes.
Throw it out and
Yeah.
see where it sticks. If it sticks. So, it's definitely a close game between the two of them, and just to give you another mention of it, both teams fighting for a spot within Pro League. mousesports in a slightly better position than Fnatic. 7 teams will make it through. Only 2 have qualified so far, or at least are guaranteed a spot so far from Europe. Those teams being Astralis and Na'Vi, both of whom are just down the road. Chris J, meanwhile, top mid, doesn't want to go for the wide side peek. He'll stay safe arch, and in doing so, will await anyone who dare try and move around. I say that, and he actually gets himself in a position. Spots one, knows they're there, but he was spotted in turn, so no repeek required, nor shall didn't even commence, and as such, Chris already starts to rotate to try and keep himself dynamic on the AWP. One of two guns. Oscar pushed up with the USP. Both nades go past him. That means, or at least suggests to me, they don't know that he's there. And, oh, that's... Okay, he did get it. He did get Crims. I thought he went down with Brolan killing him before that kill came through. That would have been super unfortunate.
Would have been, but it's all fine. All under control. Chris J.
You're out of control.
Sometimes. Right now, I would say I'm in control. But you never know what could happen later.
Isn't that a gamer in control?
In control.
Yeah, it was a caster way back.
Oh, yeah, he did StarCraft and stuff, right?
That's right. Yeah. In
I didn't know.
control. Wonder where he is now.
I think he works for Twitch.
Probably. Don't speak with them much.
Anyway, it's getting towards the A side. We will see. Oh, Chris J. In large and in charge on top of the bomb side, but only good for one. Nice position, good shot, but might still not be enough to win the round. You can see the CT's very far removed from the situation. That's Robs and Sunny making their way through towards the bottom of middle. They've got to get their skates on, though, because they are just arriving towards top of middle, and the T's get comfortable. They've got a nice crossfire. Luckily, though, there are two smokes available to the CTs. They can smoke in front of pits, on the sites, towards library. It looks like it's going to take the straight up Angels here, trying to get some info. As is this spots one, that's Robs. He wants to probably drop his smoke now. Are they just saving at this one? What's Robs up to? Time's ticking away. Need to deploy something. Still waiting for utility to be dropped, and that's a nice opening kill. Unfortunately, Ross just doesn't have the time to justify checking this side. The wallbang actually lands, but not enough damage.
Yeah, one more bullet, and it was a done dizzle. Snoop Dio double jizzle. Doesn't even matter anyway. They're going to win the round 13-11 for Fnatic, which is fantastic considering the struggles that they had on their CT side. So they're showing off some razzle-dazzle.
They really are.
On the T side, and to turn around the first half, if you want to be fair, because it was 8-7 at the end. But very, very slow start. You could kind of see it on their CT side. That was like all of a sudden they just shut down everything. Molotovs were perfect. The counter Molotovs, that is the smokes. They went A 3 rounds in a row, got absolutely wrecked at A 3 rounds in a row by crossfires in the site. They went B, got shut down again. Crims with the ace.
Yeah.
And it's been looking really good ever since then. They've only conceded 3 further rounds in all of those. I think it's been.
I think I've cast these guys like 8 times now, and I'm almost certain like 6 of those times was Inferno. So it makes sense. It's the map they're relatively comfortable on, like Mirage, Inferno. They have to be well within your wheelhouse. If you're going to make a Counter-Strike team, you can't have those as your vetoes. It's not going to be a thing. It's too much of a common map. Too strong for others. You have to be well versed on it. But we're coming to the bookend now. Fitting. We'll see whether the org of Chris J will be enough to start finding mousesports around. So it's getting a little bit troublesome for them. 13-11 down. Still with a decent buy here. They're going to send 3 players towards Banana. Good incendiary towards Logs. Hasn't done a significant amount of damage, but that's Twist down to 86. Sunny actually taking the brunt of the damage at 62 points of health. And for now, we find ourselves in a stalemate. Both Orb is waiting for a challenge. Twist does push the smoke though. That's ambitious and will not be rewarded. Sunny ready and waiting, but a nice trade from Crims.
4-on-4 as Crims goes back through Boiler. Brolan will take over the hallway. After all, kids in high school tend to hang out in the hall. Does he have his hall pass, Henry?
We never had that in the UK. I never really got that.
No, that's so American. We didn't have that either. I think we had it for like a week.
Yeah.
And it was like... Our French teacher used to give us a ticket to go to the bathroom even though we didn't have hall passes, so it was pretty useless. Good shutdown.
So the idea of that is you can't be out of class unless you had the hall pass.
Right, which means you're excused to be there, so you couldn't just be skipping class.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was... Yeah, I think I experienced that for like a week at our school. They tried it, and then no one used it. The teachers, half of them didn't even care. They were just like, yeah, whatever, go.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that failed.
Because you're in the school. It's not like you can really hide that much, you know? Like, hey, you don't want the education? That's cool. Just don't go. It's fine.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, in 2018, parents are so ridiculous at times that you can't even, like, fail kids without... Like, you can't, you have to, holding them back is like the wrong thing to do now. It's like, okay. Anyway, grade 12 with no education. How's it going?
How's it going? I don't know. Some people just aren't academic, you know, like it just doesn't work.
Oh,
Like,
totally. I'm not saying that that's. Anyway.
this is not the conversation, or not the platform for us to.
You know what I think it is? You know
Yeah.
what? You give me a platform and I'm going to use it. I am announcing my candidacy for the next U.S. election. May not have a citizenship, never lived there, still completely eligible by my own standards.
Well, we'll see if that's successful. I'll certainly vote for you.
Me versus Kanye, baby. Let's go.
He removed himself from politics as of yesterday.
Good.
Actually.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting that I brought that up in such a relevant time.
Yeah.
Why has he done that?
Because he was under so much fire with his Trump antics that he had to announce that he's nothing to do with politics anymore. Anyway, here comes JW as they made their way on the site. It will be
Probably didn't want to get a pipe bomb in the mail.
It will be the bomb going down on the A side. Not a pipe bomb, it's a bit of C4. And we'll see whether Oscar, Sunny, and Christian, the retake again. This is actually another detrimental situation. There are 4-on-3 and they can't go for it. They've got no utility. They'd have to fall back and still fine. They're going to save 3 weapons, including the AWP. But overall, it's another round on the board as Fnatic edge closer and closer to victory here on Inferno. Pretty decent T-half, I have to say. mousesports haven't put up much. They're going to have an easy buy into the next, but they're running out of rounds at this point. If you do get a draw, or go to overtime, I should say, if it goes 15-15, it means that no one really wins, because that means the 3 points is now removed. At least you'll get 1 point at leaderboard. The winner of overtime will take 2. So
That is absolutely
it's a hollow
correct.
victory in a way if you win in overtime. You will see some slightly different plays in towards the end. More teams that are lower down in the table might be tempted to force buy in round number 30 instead of play for overtime, for example. You know what I mean?
Chris is Mr. Versatility. He always has been. Gone from an op role. Amazing scout player.
Yep.
Still amazing with the op, as proven in New York.
SMG favorite is the MP7 as well. He really defined that
That's
weapon.
right. He loved picking up the SMG. He's been on the rifles for a while in this team, with Oscar obviously as the primary, and now he's the first one so far on mousesports. It's, again, we're online, but to start wielding the Krieg and the AUG. So that's kind of cool. Chris is just a straight gamer, a straight brawler, as Broland takes down Rops.
Yeah, in New York, he was one of those unbelievable performances.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, that was so wild, wasn't it?
That was a sick round.
The Wolf of Wall Street. Oh, that's not bad at all. All right, Oscar. He's keeping them alive in this one. The double kill in the apartments. You don't actually see that too often. You'd think it'd be more prevalent with this straight line in terms of the corridor, but there it is. Takes down 2 as Brolan and JW getting the clock cleaned. And for now, it's going to be advantage mousesports, but doesn't necessarily mean they win the round. Pretty far potentially from Twist Dip. Does a little bit of damage towards Sunny, but they're going to find an opening pick. That's Oscar and his AWP removed from the equation. Sticko holding on the A side, just seeing whether he can find at least 1 kill here, take the aggro for his teammates. As damage is done from Sunny. This is actually looking quite good, though. Exist. Great awareness as he gets 2. Chris J, how good are you with these weapons? It's the AUG that's got to save the day at this point. Bomb's still not planted, so does have a fighting chance here, but he's going to be rushing Crims down. Gets the headshot. There's the first, and he knows exactly where Exist is. It's going to have to be a 4K for Exist, and he'll get it. Nails the shot, and that's going to send mousesports into a very difficult spot. 15-12 down. They're definitely going to buy, obviously. Here's the double kill. Even with this shot, it's not enough to win the round. So they've got a pretty decent buy overall, but mousesports need a perfect game at this point to take us to overtime.
Yeah, pretty much. So well done from Fnatic.
Exist especially. That's a hell of a round.
Yeah, I've been quietly impressed with him. He's not been like a superstar, but I don't expect that from him. But he's certainly had his contributions on Fnatic, more so than just in-game leading. Man who defined much of the CSGO meta back in 2013, 2012, 2013. Seems ages ago now, doesn't it? I think I was still playing like Tribes Ascend at that point. Sticko with a deagle in hand, smoke down. Can hear the bullets shattering off the wall beside him, fires in and takes out JW. That may have been radar, may have just been a guess. Given the timing, given the information and the bullets heading that direction. Crims, he will get Sunny back, and that now gives us a 4 versus 3. Fnatic still in this, as Exist will take out Oscar, barely loses any HP. Certainly a winnable situation against these pistols, and LOL, solo SM, AWP, SMG, AWP. Lowly is the word I was going for.
Lowly, yeah.
But then I switched to solo halfway through,
Solely.
which didn't go well in the box office, so they canceled the Boba Fett movie.
I haven't seen the spin-offs. But,
Rogue One was good.
Yeah.
I thought it was better than the other. I think I'm gonna say it. New Star Wars suck.
Yeah, I just got a little bit lost of about 15 films. You got to keep watching the same with the Marvel stuff too much. Chris J. They've got flashes there. They don't use anything. They just walk around the corner like that. Surprising, for me at least. Chris J, he's got to run away this round. This is a mousesports one. He's so good in these sort of positions. I don't see him dropping without another frag. 9 seconds. It's the shot. Okay, well, no, there is a slight further development then with that particular kill. The fact Chris J hits it, like I thought he would, but fortunately it's a leg shot. It's going to leave Sticko 9 HP. Has to wait for Robs to come in here. HE could actually find a kill. This could be sick. Watch this. Oh, doesn't quite connect. That's such a cool idea though with him being low HP. And there it is, round for mousesports. Chris J doing enough, and it will be a long old game this one. We're going to see potentially all the rounds of mousesports taking quite a significant chunk out of the bank accounts of Fnatic there.
Absolutely. Literally taking, because they've gotten an AK-47. Chris J with the op, looking solid as always. When he is given the honor of the weapon, he'll have it again this round as well. Oscar will go for the AK instead. So, Mr. Greer, can I have a hall pass, please?
No, Trivia. See me after class. This is going to be...
Last time I did that, I didn't walk for a week.
Well, we'll get you new shoes this time, don't worry.
You ever heard of the strap?
No.
Talk about nowadays, you can't fail a kid. Parents can't spank their children. And the strap was a thing at school back when my dad was there. It was like a, it was like a whip.
Okay. So
and my dad was the smart ass who pulled his hand back when the principal went to give his hand a hit, and the principal hit himself in the knee. Yeah, he got it twice as hard then.
I can imagine.
He's told me that story so many times.
Make him look foolish. He's gonna get you twice as hard. Anyway, this is actually looking quite promising. This is now a 3-on-3. You've got a FAMAS and AK. It's down to exist, really. His position is if he flashed into spawn, that'd be amazing, but obviously not available. HE would be good at this point. You can see Oscar looking to take down Exist here, but still with a fighting chance. Fnatic looking to close it out right here, right now. The flashbang's good, but the spray is better. Sticko left against Brolan. An epic battle about to take place. Sticko has got the kit. He's got a smoke, but needs to detect the final player. He's got the incendiary as well. Not going to use it, and there we have it. Ladies and gentlemen, it will be Fnatic coming back here on Inferno. 8-7 down at half, but managing to pull off the victory in the latter stages of the second. Not bad at all. Matt, you have to say that T-side, pretty impressive considering mousesports looked so good in the first.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was more a case that Fnatic were slow to get into this. Once they did, they looked pretty solid. It was, I think, like 8-1 or 8-2, something, somewhere in that vicinity. Don't quote me on it. That mousesports was running away with the game, and then this was a round that certainly turned things back on its head as Crims got an ace. This was after 2 rounds previous in which they shut down the A side of the map, and that was pretty much it for me. That was the turning point. Fnatic came back to win the pistol. mousesports got a slight bit of momentum, but it was all Fnatic afterward, and that means map 1 goes their way. We'll see in a minute.